I'm Jason Alexander.
And I'm Peter Tilden.
And together, our mission
on the Really Know Really podcast
is to get the true answers to life's baffling questions like
why the bathroom door doesn't go all the way to the floor, what's in the museum of failure, and does your dog truly love you? We have the answer.
Go to reallyknowreally.com
and register to win $500, a guest spot on our podcast, or a limited edition signed Jason bobblehead. The Really Know Really podcast.
Follow us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Episode 475, Top 6 Money-Making Scams to Look Out For in 2025.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And today we are talking scams that are on the rise. We listen and we don't judge because everyone is susceptible to scams.
And especially when they're getting so much more nuanced and sophisticated and looking like the real deal, it can be so easy to fall into some sort of trap, especially if we're not on guard. I know so many people personally who have found themselves a part of a scam. It depends on how far they've gotten into it, but realizing, whoa, that almost got me, or that did get me. And so it doesn't discriminate.
No.
Anybody could fall victim. So we're going to talk about that and help you to be more equipped for kind of detecting these things and protecting yourselves. But first, this episode is brought to you by The Real Deal. We're not doing fake, cheap stuff over here. No knockoffs or scams. We're talking the pure, legit, real thing. Like us, in the flesh, doing a book signing at Tombolo Books in St. Petersburg on January 14th from 7 to 8 p.m. It's the real deal, folks. Hope to see you there.
Yes.
If you are in the area, if you're local or even within a short driving distance, come see us January 14th at 7 p.m. at Tombolo. It'll be fun.
Yeah, head to Tombolo's website to RSVP and can't wait to see you there. So it is January, and in January, a lot of people make the goal to pay off their debt. I know the first thing I did when I decided to pay off debt was figure out how can I earn more money so I can pay this debt off faster. And when you're trying to make money on the side, you can get into some dodgy places. And the dodgiest of places are the things that scam you, but they scam you off the back of something that actually can make you money. And so that's a lot of what we are seeing in 2025 for these scams that are on the rise. We went to the ftc.gov website and looked at their past year of scam updates, specifically just for making money. We love scams. We do periodic scams.
I mean, we don't love that they happen.
Right.
We just are obsessed with learning about them.
Are obsessed with them and helping people, because the more we read, the more we realize that anybody can get scammed. It is truly scammers spray and pray for you to be at the wrong place, wrong headspace, wrong time, and that's it. And then they've got it. So this is definitely where a lot of people will be at the wrong place at the wrong time looking to make money. But if you also are obsessed with scams, some of our past scam episodes, we did episode 380, Love and Money, Romance Scams with April Helm. And we also did episode 350, My Favorite Money Murder Scams, where we just read some of our favorite Reddit posts where scammers have murdered people's money. And I believe that that was a Halloween episode, and I believe I want to do something like that again, because Reddit never fails with the R scams. If you are interested in learning more about scams, R scams on Reddit. I'm sorry. That's better than Google right now.
It was a little bit of a departure from our typical episodes, but it felt so right.
Yeah, it was so good.
Mhm.
All right. So let's start out with just a couple of overall tips to take with you, some mindsets when you are looking for a side job or even a different job. So maybe you're trying to make more money, switching careers, industries, going back to work, whatever. So the first thing, and some of these are going to seem obvious, but it's good to be reminded.
Yeah.
It is. So the first one is, are they asking you to pay for a job? Honest employers, including the federal government, will never ask you to pay to get a job. Anyone who does this is a scammer. Even if they are asking you to pay for education through their company to get their job, it's
Or
not.
pay for the equipment. I've heard of that too, which sometimes that will happen, right? If you're a barber, you're going to have to pay for your own equipment to start at a salon. So the reason that we can fall victim to this is because it does happen for some people. Or if you're kind of getting into a new field, I knew a guy who this had happened to where he was starting a remote job. He had never worked remotely. And so they were like, you have to buy your computer. You have to do these different things. He's like, okay, like I've never done this before. That seems like it would make sense that I'd have to purchase my equipment to do this job. And turns out it was a scam. But yeah, you really can't fault them for that.
What do you know about them? So search online. This is probably the most important thing you should do with any opportunity, is to search online for the name of the company plus the word scam, review, complaint. Do all three of those searches to figure out if they've scammed other people.
Also, make sure that the reviews about this company, this job, are real. Sometimes success stories and testimonials might be too much of a glowing success story, which could be really misleading. So be wary of the ones that just look so positive, so too good to be true. Maybe even click on some of these profiles, see if the people who are reviewing have ever reviewed other things. Make sure that they are legit reviewers. So do a little bit more digging.
This is so important. I was just reading on Reddit this morning of a social media. This is a survey scam specifically, but they took this girl's TikTok, who is a real influencer. They stole her video, very good quality, and they just put like a $700 Amazon gift card over it. They sponsored the post. So this is a paid post that you would be seeing in your feed, and basically saying how she does surveys to make money. She's not talking about this company, and she's also not talking about making $700 on a survey for this company. And so it was a scam, but they stole the video, so it looked legit. They also bought likes and comments.
Jeez.
And you would have to see that. If you clicked on the commenters, if you clicked on the profiles of all these likes and commenters, then you can see there's like no followers, no interaction. They're all bots. But you'd have to click through and do your research before you figured that out.
Yeah.
It's very easy, though, to see once you click through. And that leads into the last one. What does a trusted friend or loved one think about the offer? So go and don't just take influencers' words for it, because it might not really be their words. It could even be AI, and we'll talk about AI later. They are taking the likenesses of influencers or just random people and having them talk about false things. So talk to real people that you trust in real life and actually listen to their opinions.
So the first scam that we're going to talk about here is a car wrap scam. This one seemed to be on the rise in 2024, and they usually will target college students, but kind of anyone in particular who's looking to make money. They usually are going to be offering around $600 to $700 a week to drive around with an ad for some well-known company, wrapped around your car, like literally like a big billboard that your car could get wrapped in. They're saying that usually it's an energy drink that they're saying, wrap your car in this advertisement for this energy drink. Will pay you $600 to $700 a week just to drive around and basically be advertising. And the thing about this is it is a legit thing. I do know people who have done car wraps, got paid for it. It's something Eric and I had even talked about doing when we lived in our RV. Was we're going to be going on road trips. We could get our RV wrapped and practically pay for all of the renovations of our RV. We didn't end up doing that. But it's one of those things that is legit, and then people are capitalizing on that and taking your money. So here's how this scam would work. They would send you a check for a certain amount of money. Let's say they're sending you, $600, $700 up front, and they're telling you to use a portion of that money to wrap your vehicle. And they, of course, are handling the wrapping as well. So they send you this money. It's a fake check. However, the bank will clear the check. Banks won't usually catch fraudulent checks until days, possibly even a week after the check clears.
It'll be about a week.
So the money is like technically somewhat accessible, or at least pending in your account. And then they're saying, now you pay us, let's say, $400 to wrap your vehicle. You pay them then out of your own pocket. The bank catches that it's a fraudulent check. They reverse the transaction. So now the money's no longer there, and you are out the money that you had paid back to the scammer to quote unquote wrap your car, but it never ended up happening. Plus, you might end up paying a processing fee or some sort of bank fees because the check was fraudulent.
Fees. Yeah. In the comments, people are saying Dr. Pepper is a big one that they've been trying to get, that they've been saying to get wraps for. G Fuel is another one. I'm seeing amounts for $5,000 checks, $3,200, $1,500, and that's all like they deposit it, and then 1 week later is when the bank finally tells them it's fake. So it's a real thing, but do not, if somebody approaches you, then it is a scam. And maybe you won't fall for it, but if you have young people in your life that are in college, then make them aware of stuff like this.
Because you might be thinking, well, they gave me the money, so that makes sense for me to have to pay, but it might not. It might not be real money.
Next one I think is one that might get a lot of people, and that's appointment setters. So there's this new trend on social media claiming that you can work from home and make big money as an appointment setter for different companies, sales staff, potential clients to close deals. You're typically paid an hourly rate, but you might earn bonuses based on the number of appointments you successfully set. If you need, so this is a real job, but it's a modestly paid job, and it will be far more overinflated what you can make by these people on social media. They will say you need training that you need to pay for. That is absolutely false. If you get an appointment setter job, any training you need, your employer should offer it at no cost to you. So again, modest income, it is something that can be done like very easily. It's if you can get it, if you can get the work, then it's not bad. It's some good extra money. But the truth is, honest employers will never ask you to pay to get a job, and no one can guarantee you a job. These scammers will also guarantee these jobs, and they can't. So do your research again. Check Google company review, company scam, company complaint, and take into consideration those things we talked about at the top of the episode.
The next one that we're going to talk about is fake investment opportunities. This could be anything from business opportunities to investments. There's a lot of scammers out there using kind of like infusing AI into the frauds and scams that they are operating. So it could be that when you're asking, you're chatting with some chatbot about a business opportunity or some sort of investing, that you're not even actually talking to a real person, but they're kind of like faking a real person, that these scammers have trained the chatbots to respond in a way that's fraudulent, misleading, giving you incorrect information, probably causing you to then invest monetarily your money, and none of it is real. So this one's a wild one.
And we talked about this in our other scam episodes for romance and My Favorite Money Murder, that they will impersonate someone you know. This will not just look like it's coming from a rando you've never met. And they can use the AI technology. You can get on the phone with them and think it's somebody that you know, that you are talking about a business opportunity with. It is wild. The Favorite Money Murder one, they were using the AI voice to make it sound like someone you love is being held hostage and you need to send money to get them out. And that was all AI. And one of the recommendations is hang up and call the person who is supposedly kidnapped. But AI is getting more and more sophisticated. And so if it gives you a bad feeling, especially if it's a business investment or a stock or a crypto investment, then reach out to the person in another way, or anybody else who may know them or any of that, to get verification.
They also recommend that if you're thinking about buying into a business opportunity, ask the seller to give you a 1-page disclosure document, which is required by law by legit businesses. So if the seller makes any earnings claim, they also must give you an earnings claim statement. And if they then say anything that contradicts what's written in their disclosure document or their earnings claim statement, this could also be a sign of a shady business. So I think some of the biggest takeaways here is just even more research, not just trusting the things at face value.
Trust isn't just earned, it's demanded. Whether you're a startup founder navigating your first audit or a seasoned security professional scaling your GRC program, proving your commitment to security has never been more critical or more complex. That's where Vanta comes in. Businesses use Vanta to establish trust by automating compliance needs over 35 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001, centralized security workflows, complete questionnaires up to 5 times faster, and proactively manage vendor risk. Vanta can help you start or scale your security program by connecting you with auditors and experts to conduct your audit and set up your security program quickly. Plus, with automation and AI throughout the platform, Vanta gives you time back so you can focus on building your company. Join over 9,000 global companies like Atlassian, Quora, and Factory who use Vanta to manage risk and prove security in real time. For a limited time, our audience gets $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/special. That's VANTA.com/special for $1,000 off.
I'm Jason Alexander.
And I'm Peter Tilden.
And together,
On the Really No Really podcast,
our mission is to get the true answers to life's baffling questions like,
why they refuse to make the bathroom door go all the way to the floor.
we got the answer.
Will space junk block your cell signal? The astronaut who almost drowned during a spacewalk gives us the answer. We talk with the scientist who figured out if your dog truly loves you, and the one bringing back the woolly mammoth. Plus, does Tom Cruise really do his own stunts? His stuntman reveals the answer. And you never know who's going to drop by.
Mr. Brian Cranston is with us
How
today.
are you
Hello, my
two?
friend.
Wayne Knight about Jurassic Park.
Wayne Knight, welcome to Really No
God.
Really, sir.
Bless you all.
Hello, Newman. And you never know when Howie Mandel might just stop by to talk about judging.
Really? That's the opening?
Really No Really. Yeah, really.
No, really.
Go to reallynoreally.com.
And register to win $500, a guest spot on our podcast, or a limited edition signed Jason bobblehead.
It's called Really No Really, and you can find it on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The next one I think will also be huge in this community, or could be, and it's task scams. So they create the illusion of making money, and it will always start with you getting a message. Actually, I don't want to say it will always start with you getting a message, but essentially what it is in a task scam, scammers ask you to do simple, repetitive tasks such as liking videos or rating product images online. The supposed job is to complete tasks in an app or online platform for which you'll earn money from a quote unquote commission on each click. But those promises are fake. They aren't real commissions. There are no commissions, and nobody but the scammers make money. And the reason this really caught me is because I did something like this legitimately to make money when we were paying off debt. I was in, I think it was Lionbridge, I was evaluating search. I was a human search engine optimizer. I was looking at what I think it was for Facebook, what the search was and then what the results were. And I was kind of rating what the search results were. Or I was watching like videos to kind of help the algorithm make sure it was giving the best search results. That's what I was doing. But it was for a legitimate company that I had applied for that had not reached out to me. And it did not feel scammy. It was on the up and up. And I did make money doing that. So this is like those influencers or people. It's like, get paid to watch videos and just make it sound too easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was not complicated work, but it was still like time consuming. So it worries me so much that these tasks are so close to what actual money making like tasks could be. It's insane. So in order to avoid these, and ignore generic or unexpected texts or WhatsApp messages about jobs. Real employers will never contact you unless you contact them first. And never pay anyone to get paid or to get a job. I never had to pay for anything. And don't trust anyone who says they'll pay you to rate or like things. That's not what I was doing. I was not rating. I was not liking. I was helping the algorithm. I was a human brain teaching a computer algorithm, which now sounds like I'm helping our robot overlords take over.
But training it in the good way, not in the fraudulent way.
Yeah, it was real funny stuff. Like real bizarre, real random. It gave me interesting things to learn, I think.
That's funny. Okay, the last one for me on here is post office jobs. And I found this one so interesting, but also I feel like I've also seen these as well, like specifically looking for a postal job. And maybe part of it is because there is, at least for me, this idea that that's a good job. Like they make good wages, you've got good pension, like, and they're hard to come by. Like they don't often, there's not a lot of turnover within postal work. So this is just my impression of these types of jobs. So maybe that's in part why this particular type of job is so useful for scamming. But essentially the scammers would be reaching out as if they are the USPS. They will post an ad or a listing, maybe to your email, and it will link to a website that looks like a real USPS website. It has the logo, it has everything, but it's actually a copy. And so when you're on this kind of fake website, everything is created by the scammers, and they may ask you for a registration fee or application or employment package fee or a fee to apply or a fee to take the postal service exam. The pattern here is that they're asking you to pay in order to get this job. And so the takeaway here is that it is free to apply for jobs. You should not have to pay an application fee to apply for jobs, and to go to the true legitimate websites. I think being wary of any link that is sent to you through a text, through an email, on social media. Instead, going to the website itself rather than taking the link that someone is just sending you. Because even though it looks legit, it might not be. It could just be a very, very good copy.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to give an honorable, do I still have one left?
Yeah.
Do we do 6? Okay. I want to say I have an honorable mention after this.
Okay.
Okay. But my last one, this is another one I did while I was paying off debt.
Yeah, I've done this one too.
Mystery shopping.
Uh-huh.
So mystery shopping is where companies will send mystery shoppers into stores, into restaurants to try products or services, like to see how the service is by the wait staff, how the food is in restaurants, all kinds of, just to get the overall customer experience. I did a couple movie ones where I had to go to the bar and see if I was ID'd.
Oh, nice.
And one time I was not. I know.
Yikes.
Oh gosh, I felt so bad. I was like, no, I'm going to get you fired. I'm so sad. But I got to see a free movie and get a free drink.
Nice.
So while some mystery shopping jobs are legitimate, there is Bestmark, Coil. Those are the only two coming off the top of my head. I was working with like 4 or 5 at a time. They specialize in different things. Like Coil is just hospitality, so it's restaurants and hotel stays. But you really gotta do a lot with them in order to get a hotel stay. Bestmark is like oil changes, like a lot of going to car dealerships and test driving cars, all kinds of things. But
which are legit, and
they
you can
are
do those
legit,
things,
right?
Yeah.
But no mystery shopping company will ever send you a check and say deposit it to buy gift cards. That is not a mystery shopping job that you will ever see. And so they want you to send them like the numbers on the back of the gift cards, and then they say you get the money, but they're taking it all. So no mystery shopping job will ever ask you. They will, and see, this is where it gets dicey. You do have to pay for your meal or your product during the mystery shop.
Yeah.
And then they reimburse you and pay you, usually on top of it. So it is, buying a gift card could seem like an actual thing that you would have to do as a mystery shopper, but that is not something they're ever going to, that particular thing, going to ask you to buy. They don't ask you to buy something specific. Like if you go in, you order to a restaurant, you order whatever food you want. They'll say, order 2 entrees and 2 drinks, but you get whatever you want, like in those categories. Same like if you go into Target, you buy a beauty product. They're not going to tell you exactly like what to buy. So they're not going to tell you to buy a specific thing. That's a sign of a scam.
Yeah. That was the thing with mystery, like the legit mystery shopping that I didn't love, is that you had to pay it all out of pocket. And then it took like 3 months to get reimbursed. That was just too long of a time for me when I'm in the midst of debt payoff.
Mystery shopping is not a way to like really make money. For us, it was a way to get out of the house and do things without dipping into our budget. That's what we used it for. So we didn't do a lot of, I still get emails from these companies. Right now they have one where they're helping a company do like a total like restock of, they're changing their branding. And so they're taking everything out and putting everything back in. So that's something people can get paid to help with right now. So we didn't do stuff like that. We just did like the restaurants, the movie theaters, just the fun stuff that we could get out of the house, have a date night, and have it covered. But I would have to spend like an hour and a half after writing a report. I would have to take pictures during it. So like it wasn't something we did often. It did not seem glamorous.
Right.
So if it seems too good to be true with mystery shopping, it absolutely is.
I think the gift card thing is one of those red flag pieces. Like if someone's asking you to get gift cards, that should raise some alarm bells that, this might be a scam. This is probably a scam. Okay, what's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is MLMs because they do fit several places on our list of money-making scams.
They did come up quite a bit. If you were to Google money-making scams, you are going to see MLMs on nearly every list. So,
and my girly pops, if you are buying from your friend's MLM, you are perpetuating the problem. You are part of the problem, even if you're not joining one and participating. If you are buying from one, Sensi, Bod, so a lot of them have changed to affiliate models in 2024. So that is something to be aware of. Some of your least favorite MLMs are no longer MLMs, like Saint, Arbonne, Body, which was Beachbody, are no longer MLMs.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So let's just, be aware that you have to pay for this business opportunity, and then you have to pay monthly for either website fees or product minimums. If you're not selling your minimum and you want to, maintain in the company, then you have to buy product. That's a scam. There is not, and according to I think it was the FTC, some part is, in order to avoid legal action, they actually consider like the person at the top and their downline, boss babes are legally considered customers. So you're not, to your upline, you're not a boss babe. You are their customer.
Yeah. You're
and
not supporting.
That's in the contracts.
You're not supporting small business owners. And when most of the money is made off of recruiting others who have to buy their own inventory, research shows the people at the bottom are not making any money. It's the top 1% that's actually making money. But yet all these promises of if you work harder, you hustle harder, you get more people in your downline, then you'll do it. You'll finally get there. You'll finally arrive. And it just doesn't get there because really the population, there's not enough people for you once you're at level 6, 7, 8 for you to actually make any money. It's just statistics and math.
MLMs are declining. They declined greatly. The ones that still are multi-level are dropping. I love to watch Cece Suarez and Hannah Alonso just like totally go in, like nerd out on these things. I think our biggest issue right now is that we do still see buying from your friend's MLM as supporting small business, and really you are supporting scammers. So that, I think that's why I wanted to give it an honorable mention, because it is not a scam on the rise, but we could still be contributing to it by purchasing these products. So be aware.
Yeah. And that's not to be like rude to the friends who are involved in this, but I think that there can be some education and information that happens to kind of help people have legitimate paying jobs. Because I think the desire is real, right? Like we find ourselves in any of these scams that we've listed off out of, in some circumstances, desperation for, I need to be able to pay my bills. I need to be able to earn a little bit more income. I want to keep living in this house, but the cost of living keeps rising. So what do I do? And I think that urgency, that desperation can make us even more vulnerable to some of these things that are like, oh man, that wouldn't require a ton of time. I can make a lot of money. And oftentimes it's too good to be true.
I think honestly, it comes back to that I deserve mentality. Like they will get you with, you deserve to be a business owner. You deserve time flexibility. And you're like, okay, yes, I deserve this, but we're thinking too small is the problem. Yes, you deserve it, but you deserve more and you can do better. But we just don't think that we deserve that level that we are truly capable and deserving of. Like we're talking now about like, how do we invest in businesses in our local community? Like not just to like build up our local community, but to also make money and like honor this desire in ourselves to be business owners, to be our own boss. And there are a lot of ways that you can be a business owner of a legitimate business with not hundreds and thousands of dollars of capital. And there's just, it's who you surround yourself to figure out, like, are you surrounding yourself with internet and social media influencer scammers who are trying to lead you down the quote unquote passive income scam path, or like legitimate like business owners who have experience and can mentor you?
Do you know what else we deserve in every single episode?
Is really the biggest and the best, and it has inspired me to be greater.
The bill of the week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Jill. This is Michelle from Southern Orange County, California. My bill of the week this week is our new refrigerator bill. Our fridge went out Labor Day weekend, and I saw on the Friendletter that there's usually appliance sales during Labor Day weekend. But luckily, even before then, my husband, his name's Jeff, he actually looked into how to maybe fix the fridge first. When that wasn't going to work out, we went to the Home Depot and we got a fridge, and it was a little bit above our budget, but he decided to ask if they could do anything about that. And they did, and they gave him a huge discount on top of the Labor Day sale. So that was awesome. And then when they delivered the fridge the next weekend, we were able to get even more of a discount because there was a small damage. And he just called the person up and said, hey, this is what happened. The delivery people said this amount. And the person was like, oh, okay, well, let me give you an extra $100 off. So our bill went from like $4,000 down to like $2,200. So that's my bill of the week. Thank you. Bye.
Whoa. Yes. Yeah. So in the Friendletter, every month we're talking about, we don't just talk about freebies, but also like when the best sales are, because we know like we can be tricked by sales, right? Sometimes sales are like, oh, it's one of a kind, but it never is. But if there truly is like a best sale time, we're going to tell you about it. Like appliances, I went into Home Depot and was like, when are the best sales? And dude was like, 4th of July and Labor Day, sometimes Black Friday.
Yep.
And those are the 3 best ones.
Yep. Yep. We just got appliances as well with Black Friday, and it was a legit deal. And the deal did legitimately end. And now they're back up to full price. So yeah, sometimes, especially if you're in the market for these things, it's good to know when you can be purchasing these things and then be preparing for it. So great tips here. Congratulations. And also well done even negotiating further for a discount. Sometimes we can assume that these big box stores like Home Depot are not going to be able to offer us further deals and discounts, but you just never know what other deals could possibly be happening, whether or not they're trying to offload certain products from the floor. Who knows? And then, yes, when the item is delivered, if there are small minor damages, that could also lead to a discount. So well done. This is an extreme drop in price, and yet you still have a new fridge. That's so exciting. If you all listening have a bill you want to submit, if it's about negotiating, timing the sales, getting new appliances, trying to repair your stuff first.
Yes, I glossed over that one, but well done.
Then call it in. Leave us a bill. We just love hearing from you and all of your creative ideas about Bill. frugalfriendspodcast.com/Bill. We can't wait to hear it.
I'm Jason Alexander.
And I'm Peter Tilden.
And together,
On the Really No Really podcast,
our mission is to get the true answers to life's baffling questions like,
why they refuse to make the bathroom door go all the way to the floor?
We got the answer.
Will space junk block your cell signal? The astronaut who almost drowned during a spacewalk gives us the answer. We talk with the scientist who figured out if your dog truly loves you and the one bringing back the woolly mammoth. Plus, does Tom Cruise really do his own stunts? His stuntman reveals the answer. And you never know who's going to drop by.
Mr. Brian Cranston is with us
How
today.
are you
Hello, my
two?
friend.
Wayne Knight about Jurassic Park.
Wayne Knight, welcome to Really No
God.
Really, sir.
Bless you all.
Hello, Newman. And you never know when Howie Mandel might just stop by to talk about judging.
Really? That's the opening?
Really No Really. Yeah, really.
No, really.
Go to reallynoreally.com.
And register to win $500, a guest spot on our podcast, or a limited edition signed Jason bobblehead.
It's called Really No Really, and you can find it on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And now it's time for the lightning round. Pew, pew.
All right. A time you suspected you were being scammed online. Oh my gosh. Survey scams. Like, it's normal for a survey. You do the onboarding and it's normal to not get picked for the actual paid survey. But like, because of that, I did several like survey scams that didn't get, I like never gave anybody, like I never got any money sent to me or deposited any money or like took it too far. But it was just annoying when you're like, ugh, I just wasted my time and this is a scam.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't get scammed in the end, but like just the waste of time figuring out it's a scam.
Yeah.
Now I don't do any surveys anymore.
Because it's just too
Waste of
much
time.
work
Yeah.
to figure out, is this even legitimate?
Yeah, whether it's
or not?
legit or not, not worth it.
I mean, I think I'm getting scammed. People are trying to scam me daily, whether it's in my email or a text message. I will often get text messages. I think just this week I got one from you, claiming to be UPS, that my package can't be delivered.
Oh,
They
yeah, I
need
got
more
that
information from me. But if you look at who is it coming from, like usually it'll be some random email.
Oh my gosh, I got one yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read it after.
Well, go for it. Read it now.
So it's from an email address. It's an iMessage. It says, "Hi, I'm Emily with Robert Half, and we have remote online part-time/full-time jobs. Your background and resume have caught the attention of several online recruiters. So we'd like to offer you a job you can do from home in your free time. This job is easy and has no time constraints. Daily pay ranges from $200 to $5,000 and is paid on the same day.
Oh my God.
Join us and be part of America's booming job market and start a career you can be proud of. Requirements 22 plus. If interested, please contact us on WhatsApp. That has a phone number, and it's from an email address that's it's Sharon Hinton, VZMM2531 @gmail.com.
So there you go.
I got this yesterday.
Yeah. And
I forgot about that.
Those are the main things that stand out to me. And that is a random email address. Like it's not even a domain of some legitimate business.
Yeah, anything's at Gmail, at Yahoo, at something.net.
And just all those random numbers and everything. And then let's communicate on WhatsApp. That's another one. I mean, WhatsApp is a legit app and I do communicate with friends on there, but people offering legitimate jobs and income, they're not trying to communicate with you on WhatsApp. That's not where they're going. And so mine too will be, the one that I got this week was about a package that they needed more information from me in order to deliver my package. And so it's the time of year, right? Like we're recording this in December. So people, they're spraying and praying, like you said already. They're expecting that you probably do have a package arriving. You're not sure from who. Is it UPS? Is it USPS? Is it FedEx? Yeah, you have a USPS parcel. Jen's just showing me a number. It's not a US number. Yeah, it's a plus 63 number. So that's not US, which there you go. And then yeah, there's just so many things that are not legit in it. But if you're not
you know it,
totally aware of that, what what that scam would be is trying to get your personal information and maybe even your credit card, because this is going to charge you in order to receive the package. I also am a part of, so I'm an adjunct professor as one of my side hustles. And so I'm on the university's email kind of domain, and I will get all of the emails that will also get sent out to the students. And there are weekly scams being sent to these college students about jobs, remote work that could pay them like $30 to $45 an hour. And even me as an adjunct faculty member, I'm like, oh, this is a great deal. And I mean, I can quickly know like, this is not legitimate. But yeah, when they are offering something that is so far and above and beyond what you think that job should be paid, it's probably not legit, which thinks it'd be awesome to work five hours a week and get paid tons and tons of money. But that's the thing. I think these scammers are preying upon people in vulnerable situations, the ones looking for extra work without a lot of time involvement, flexibility, high hourly earnings. So college students and moms and people who just
people paying
need
off
more
debt.
money. Yeah.
People who want to pay off debt and get their financial life right, like you guys. So definitely be aware. And thank you so much for listening. We love reading your reviews. If this has helped you or helped you help somebody in your life, please let us know in the review section, either on Apple Podcasts or in the comments on Spotify or on our book. Our book is out and you can now review the book. So whether that's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Goodreads, we would love if we've helped you, if you leave a rating and review like this one from Nest for 5 plus Mama. Great information and great fun. There's no shame in this podcast game, just tons of fun, laughs, information, vulnerability, and practical truths to help you from a much better relationship with your finances and likely yourself. My college and high school daughters and I listen to the podcast together, and we are all learning so much and having tons of fun. You simply must give it a listen.
Oh, this is so kind. Thank you, Nest for 5 plus Mama. This is such a sweet review. And I'm so glad that you have fun listening to this show, that there's laughter along with learning. That's the ultimate goal. If you haven't left us a review for the podcast, please do so wherever you're listening. Apple or Spotify would be most helpful, but also the book.
Yeah.
Also review the book.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, wherever you've purchased it from. Just give us a like.
Thanks so much, everyone. See you next time.
Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Sirianni.
Oh, it stinks to have to be so on guard. I think to need to be so cynical, it feels like, when it comes to protecting yourself against scams, to just constantly be vigilant. But that is the world we're living in.
I know. I want to believe that when, this person is telling me your Amazon account was logged into in Mumbai, India. If it's not from you, please verify your account in this secure link below. And with letters and numbers and a short link. And I just want to believe that somebody's helping me out, right? And not just like, this is just a picture of everybody's account is getting logged in specifically from Mumbai, India.
Well, and there's so many actions that we're used to taking that are necessary. Like, when I am trying to log into my Gmail account on my phone, and then they're like, log into your email and verify that it's you. And so these are actions that we're accustomed to. And then they can kind of become rote. Like, oh yeah, my accounts are constantly trying to be hacked. And I know that I'm constantly also needing to approve or deny certain things that sometimes it's like, okay, you get this text. It's like, oh no, that's not me. Let me deny this. But it's actually the scammer who's trying to get you to log on to deny this thing and preying upon our habits, even the good habits that we have of protecting ourselves. So it's just so overwhelming.
Here's the scammiest thing I got. Let me read it to you. Ho, 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 Kai, it's Santa. I couldn't wait to say hi this Christmas season. I didn't sign up for no text from no Santa.
Are you sure?
Guess what, Kai? For the first time in years, there's a new baby reindeer at the North Pole.
That's cute, though.
And a actual cute picture
you
of a baby
must have
reindeer.
signed up one time for like texts from Santa for your son.
And then at the last one, it was 4 days of text. It was text on 4 different days in a row, like 4 days in a row. It's been so much fun texting you, Kai. Tell a parent I sent a gift to their Gmail email. Check the junk folder, too. Ho, ho, ho. And I never checked the junk folder. I never checked.
Well, now you're going to.
Yeah. I just assumed it was a scam, you know?
Well, it probably
How'd
is.
they know it was my Gmail? Right? Like, how do
they know your son's name?
Right? I think it was my mom who did it. And I can't find anything from Santa on that day.
Man.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I just got a
Guess we'll
text
never
from
know.
a friend asking me about this. This might be research we do after we hang up here. But this friend is asking, they came across this webinar about how to earn money using Amazon's free Audible app. Now I got to look into this and figure out, I don't know, is this a scam? But already it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah. Yep. Well, sounds too good to be true. It is.
I think the takeaway is just like hang out with real people in person.
Yes. That's it. That's the solution
Like,
to most problems.
come hang out with us at Tumbelow Bookstore in St. Petersburg on January 14th at 7 p.m. That'll be real. That won't be a scam.
And I'll tell you how to make money online passively in your sleep. Come.
Bye.
I'm Jason Alexander.
And I'm Peter Tilden.
And together, our mission
On the Really No Really podcast
is to get the true answers to life's baffling questions like,
why the bathroom door doesn't go all the way to the floor, what's in the museum of failure, and does your dog truly love you? We have the answer.
go to reallynoreally.com.
And register to win $500, a guest spot on our podcast, or a limited edition signed Jason bobblehead. The Really No Really podcast.
Follow us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.